Today we're jumping into a pretty significant event up in Alaska. That magnitude 7.3 earthquake offshore near the Alaska Peninsula region happened July 16th, 2025. Our mission really is to sift through the details, pull out what's most important about the quake, the bigger picture in Alaska and that crucial tsunami response. We want to give you that quick, solid understanding. So let's lay it out. The quake itself, July 16th, 2025, just after lunch, 12:37 p.m. Alaska time.
That's right.
And the location was about 55 miles south of Sandpoint, 89 kilometers.
And pretty deep, too, about 12 miles down.
Okay. Now, the shaking, people felt it over a huge area, right?
Yeah, reports came in from quite far, even to Anchorage and Juneau, those, light shaking there.
But closer in, like Sandpoint, much stronger.
Oh, yeah. We heard one report, someone said things were flying out of their pantry off the shelves. It really gives you a sense of the force.
Wow. Yeah, that really puts the powerful quake, doesn't it?
It does. And even in Homer, people described it more like a mild rolling. Lamps swaying, plants moving a bit.
Crucially, though, and this is important early on, no reports of major damage from the quake or a tsunami.
Correct. No initial reports of significant damage in those communities near the epicenter, which is, fortunate.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more then. This earthquake, it didn't just happen out of the blue, right? Alaska's known for this kind of thing.
No. Definitely not random. This specific region, the Alaska-Aleutian megathrust, it's been, let's say, extra active lately.
The megathrust. Can you quickly explain what that is?
Sure. It's basically a huge fault zone where the Pacific tectonic plate is diving or subducting beneath the North American plate.
Yeah.
It makes it one of the most seismically active zones on the planet.
Got it. And this quake fits into that pattern?
Absolutely. This M7.3 is actually the fifth earthquake magnitude 7 or greater right there in that region just since 2020.
5 years, 5 major quakes.
Exactly. It suggests a kind of sustained period of significant stress release. It's not just isolated jolts. It feels more like an ongoing geological adjustment.
There's that statistic that 4 out of 5 U.S. earthquakes happen in Alaska. That always blows my mind. Is that risk always going up, or is it just Alaska?
It's mostly just the inherent reality of Alaska's geology.
Yeah.
Dr. Michael West, the seismologist at the Alaska Earthquake Center, he put it really well.
What did he say?
He said, the entire southern coast of Alaska is a gigantic earthquake zone. 4 out of 5 earthquakes in the United States happen in Alaska. It's just constant.
So these big quakes are part of a sequence?
It looks that way. This one, the M7.3 on July 16th, 2025, and there was another one, an M7.2 on July 15th, 2023. Both seem to be within the aftershock zone of a bigger one back in July 2020.
The Semyonov quake.
That's one, the M7.8 Semyonov quake.
Yeah.
So yeah, seismologists are calling this a prolonged aftershock sequence.
Meaning the ground is still settling from that 2020 event.
Essentially, yes. The fault system is adjusting gradually, not all at once. Mm-hmm. And that has real implications for, long-term preparedness.
Right. And you mentioned earthquakes aren't just dots on a map.
Exactly. We often see that little point. But the actual rupture, the area underground that slipped, for a quake this size, it could easily be a few hundred square miles.
That's a huge area.
It really is. Think of it like the footprint of the quake, not just a single spot.
Okay, so we understand the main event, but here's where it gets really interesting for people living there. What happens after a quake like this? The aftershocks.
Right. The ground doesn't just go quiet immediately. This M7.3 generated aftershocks almost instantly.
Yeah, how many are we talking?
Well, the data shows 40 were detected in just the first 3 hours.
40? Wow. Any big ones in that batch?
The largest was magnitude 5.2, and there were 7 others that were magnitude 4 or higher.
And this continues?
Oh, yes. Aftershocks are likely to persist for, the foreseeable future. The USGS, the Geological Survey, they put out an aftershock forecast.
What does that say?
It indicates there's a possibility, maybe even likely, of at least 1 magnitude 6 or greater in the next week. And smaller quakes. Definitely expect those to continue.
So the ground is still finding its new normal?
Precisely. Its new equilibrium.
Okay. Switching gears slightly, but it's directly related. Tsunamis. That's the big fear for many after an offshore quake, right?
Absolutely. Especially at a place like coastal Alaska.
How quickly did the warnings go up this time?
Immediately. The National Tsunami Warning Center, the NTWC, they issued a tsunami warning right after the earthquake was detected and sized up.
And that triggers action on the ground.
Yes, very quickly. Several communities issued tsunami evacuations. Sandpoint, King Cove, Kodiak, Old Harbor, Homer, Seward, on Alaska.
So people moved to higher ground?
They did. The Coast Guard, for instance, they evacuated their own personnel from the base in Kodiak and had air crews standing by. So practice response.
But then the warning changed.
It did. But an hour later, as more data came in, the warning was downgraded to an advisory. And then eventually it was canceled altogether.
That seems fast. How do they make that call so quickly? What signals are they looking for?
It's a really sophisticated process. They use the earthquake data magnitude, depth, location to run initial models. That triggers the first warning.
Okay.
Then, crucially, they rely on real-time sea level data from buoys out in the ocean.
Like the one at Sandpoint you mentioned.
Exactly. That buoy did meter a small rise in sea level, only about 0.2 feet, roughly 3 inches.
So,
very small, yes. But it confirmed a tsunami was generated. That's key. The NTWC even stated a tsunami was generated by this event, but no longer poses a threat.
Ah, I see. So the models predict, the buoys confirm or deny the actual threat level.
That's a good way to put it. It lets them refine the warning rapidly. And, we talk about tsunamis, these incredibly powerful waves caused by massive shifts underwater, like earthquakes or landslides.
Right, they can be devastating.
They can. And the speed is incredible. That's why the immediate warning is so vital, even if this time the wave was small.
Because people near the source might only have minutes.
Exactly. If a large, impactful wave had been generated by this quake, those communities closest, like Sandpoint, would have had very, very little time. Those first minutes are everything.
So the system worked, even for a small event.
It did. It highlights the value of preparedness. And agencies like the Alaska Earthquake Center work constantly with communities on hazard zones, evacuation routes.
Is that the map you mentioned?
Yeah, there's an interactive map online, tsunami.alaska.edu. You can actually check if a specific location is in a known hazard zone. It's a great resource.
You mentioned Dr. West earlier. He also said something like, early signs suggest we're on the lucky side today. That implies the system worked. But maybe there are still things we're learning. Are there gaps?
That's a really sharp question. The systems are incredibly good, but there are always challenges. Getting warnings reliably to very remote areas can be tough.
Communication issues.
Sometimes, yeah. Or ensuring everyone understands the warning and knows exactly what to do. And then there are trickier seismic events, like quakes that trigger underwater landslides.
Ah, those can cause tsunamis too.
Yes, and sometimes those tsunamis can be larger than you'd expect just from the earthquake magnitude alone. So while yes, we were lucky this time and the system performed well, there's always ongoing work to improve models, detection, and especially community readiness for all scenarios.
Right. Well, this has been a really thorough deep dive. We've covered the specifics of that July 16th M7.3 quake near Sandpoint. How it fits into Alaska's, super active seismic setting, the ongoing aftershocks people need to be aware of.
Yeah, that prolonged sequence.
Exactly. And the tsunami warning system, how it kicked in fast, even though the wave turned out to be minor this time, it really gives you a clear picture quickly.
It does. It shows the system in action. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. We see Alaska having these frequent large quakes. We see the warning systems working pretty effectively, like in this near-miss scenario. So the question becomes, what else can we learn from events like this? Not just for Alaska, but for improving preparedness and resilience in other earthquake-prone regions all around the globe. How can these experiences help everyone else?
That's a great point. Lessons learned globally.
Definitely. And seriously, do check out that tsunami hazard map we mentioned, tsunami.alaska.edu. It's worth exploring for